Hey, it's the RIOT podcast. Good times.
Oh, now where's the energy we sometimes expect?
Well, I spent it all on the show.
Oh, that was it?
So you guys will find it.
And the coughing that just pops in every so often.
Yeah, it ended up being kind of, I think I saved a lot. But the thing is, like, I don't know that it's any good. But then again,
we wonder about that every day.
I do.
But people seem to like it, so let's not be too hard on ourselves.
I actually had somebody ask me, this is yesterday, this really happened. They're like, you're so creative. You have so many interesting things to say. Where do you come up with this stuff? And I was just like,
oh, no.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't think I'm interesting or creative. Boom. There you go.
There it is.
How's that?
Now enjoy the show.
Now enjoy the show. No, we talked about creative processes, but it was just like, I don't know. Well, hey, today in the show, here's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear this allergy-trodden, exhausted voice. We're going to talk about tax day, Ring Fit, Hulu and Netflix, Disneyland, the 10 Commandments. Come on.
There it is.
Come on.
Say it in a booming voice.
I'm excited about it. That might come out. We also talk about Xbox hunting, Play-Doh tubs, fusion sauces. What happened to Ronald?
Oh, that $1,500 reward.
Anybody want to make a quick 15?
Okay.
Help me find Ronald, okay? So that and more. So you guys enjoy the show.
Thanks for listening. As always, thank you for listening.
Yeah, and hey, just so you feel like you're getting a real behind-the-scenes look.
There it is. Another nose blowing. Aww.
But it's fine.
Which is what we say all the time.
It's fine.
Text and say hey today, 877-2-RADIO. Tell us you're a podcast listener and introduce yourself. Let us know your name and where you're listening from. And if you ever come across something you want us to cover in the show or say hey to you in the show, just send it to us and we'll see it when we're in next.
All right. You guys have a great day. Bye.
The riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the riot. RadioU.
I think I've lost every single mask that I acquired during the pandemic.
Like in the beginning months.
Because I had a RadioU mask, which was the best one I ever had. I loved that thing. I don't know what I did with it. I had a mask from the band Red.
Oh,
no
yeah,
idea.
I remember you had that one.
I loved that one too.
Yeah.
No idea. I had one that you gave me.
Don't even know where that one is.
I've had ones issued. I mean, I've just had masks. And last night I was like, okay, where are these masks?
Yeah.
Where? They're somewhere. Surely. They're somewhere. No, they're nowhere. They have gone, I believe, to join the other socks. The ones.
Well, you should. You got to have a designated space that you keep them, and then you got to remember to put them back when you wash them. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, well,
they don't make it back. Once they're in rotation, that's one thing. But if they need to go get cleaned, they never make it back to the initial place.
Yeah, and I don't even know. I probably cleaned them. I don't know.
You don't even know that. You're not sure.
There's too many things in my life that I just assume are happening that I'm not making happen. It's not a good way to live.
Well, maybe in 2 years, you'll find the pile wherever they've gone when you don't need them anymore.
Yeah, I imagine at some point, I finally decide to really clean my car out, and I find out that they are my upholstery is black and the masks are black, and it's oh, they were sticking under the thing here.
They're all under the seat.
It totally could be. I don't know. But I just realized this morning I reached for a mask and I was like, I'm acquiring a little pile of these disposable masks, which I'm not throwing away. And I don't know where my cloth ones are. So it's working.
I just want to see the disposable pile grow, and then one day you'll put them where the reusable ones are.
Yeah, and I'll finally have them all,
and it'll be great.
Well, I'll save them for the next pandemic.
I think we're all in the same boat, though. Y'all just start losing them, and you got to buy more.
Yeah, I almost bought one of those pack of 50s yesterday, and I was like, well.
Oh, the disposable ones?
Yeah, I came close. Maybe I should. I don't know.
At this rate? Just leave it in the car. I see the TikTok hack where you take the tissues, the holder that you can put in your car.
Oh, and then you just put masks in there?
You put the masks in them. So you put it on your visor, and then you just pull it out from it anytime you need one. And it kind of keeps them all in one spot.
It's pretty good. I mean, I know, like, we're going to be wearing masks for a while, guys. I feel like I've given up on it. My mask game is weak, and I got to make it strong again.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, did you get your Ring Fit yet?
I did. I got it yesterday.
Did you bust it out at all?
I opened the box.
Okay. Because I noticed that you got a dozen donuts, but like...
I was hoping you would notice that I did one but not the other.
I just thought, when I saw all those donuts, I thought, well, surely Nikki will take time out for Ring Fit tonight.
Isn't that disappointing? I was with a friend and we decided to partake in the Krispy Kreme St. Patrick's Day donuts.
Come on.
So there's still some left. I've not eaten them all.
Oh, so you brought them in?
I did not bring them in.
You are just loaded with great news this morning.
I'm making all the mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But I did get it. So it's Ring Fit. It's for the Switch, and it's basically the strap you wear on your leg, and like the controller goes in this ring. Yeah. And you play a game, and it's supposed to be a good workout. And I saw some more talk about that a few weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, I want to try it. But I didn't. So
okay. Well, I thought about you last night because I was going to go to the gym. I'm really, really
trying to get back into that.
Yes, like I'm trying to get, even though like don't feel good, don't whatever, like still get the exercise. And so, man, I don't know if I have a cold or allergies or what, but like it's getting worse, not better. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, you cannot go to the gym and hack and cough and blow your nose while you're touching all these community items.
They're going to think it's the worst.
I'm like, you just can't. And so last night I did some extra gaming, which is what Ring Fit is. But I played, there's a game, it was all Oculus Quest stuff, so it was all virtual reality. So I played a game called Pistol Whip, which I'll tell you what, like I think that's a crazy workout because people are shooting at you and you're dodging it while you're also trying to shoot, and like it is it's something. I don't even want to know please never let me see myself play it.
Is it too much?
Oh, I mean, my arms are flailing. Like I'm literally jumping around, like down on one knee, like up and like all this stuff. So, I mean, it really is like it's a very active experience.
Yeah,
but like I said,
with virtual reality, you're just going to look a little odd.
I really don't want to know what I look like while I do it.
Exercising with video games, you will look odd no matter what. Even if it's not virtual reality, I expect to look odd with the Ring one. So we'll try it, but it might be fun.
We'll just keep the cameras off.
We don't want to make it that a personal thing.
Yeah, I did that and I played Beat Saber for a while. So I just set a timer and I was like, all right, you're gonna play what you want, but like you gotta play these couple of games and like get the exercise.
The only thing you needed was the dozen donuts last night, and I played Animal Crossing for a while, so that was it. I was on the Switch. Don't
you think?
Listen. My
psychologically,
family needed me.
Psychologically, on some level, you were like, man, I really need to do this thing on the Switch. Well, I haven't checked in on my island for a while.
Honestly, because I figured I will be using it more if it's on a certain TV. So we moved the Switch stuff to that TV. And then I was like, hey, while it's there, instead of setting I might as well just get on the island, say hi to everybody, clean it up a little bit, eat a donut, and then we'll just focus on today being a workout day.
Yeah. You know what's the best day to work out?
Well, actually, I should probably wait till tomorrow. Yeah, for Friday.
No. Just tomorrow. Tomorrow is the best day to start.
That's just what you have to tell yourself.
Absolutely.
Listening to the worst of the Riot is the equivalent of standing in line at the BMV. Ugh. Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
I should not be excited about this. In fact, I feel like it unveils a certain level of...
a side of you? Is that it?
Well, just like it's disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm way excited about it that the IRS tax deadline has officially been pushed back.
Now, normally I feel like you get yours done around like January, but am I wrong with that? Or
you know what? I normally do. And I will tell you that last year and this year, I have way drug my feet.
Wait until the end.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. Whatever. Let's blame COVID. We blame it for everything else. Let's just blame that.
Why not add it to that? Well, now you have an extra month. It'll go until May 17th. That's now the new deadline to get your taxes in.
Well, I will tell you, I've got a lot going on between now and Easter, and then I'm taking the week after Easter off. And so I was like, when I come back from vacation, I got to get my taxes done. I got to do it then. I got to whatever. Man, now...
But you're just going to get closer and closer.
Don't say that.
Like, wouldn't you rather get, if we get money back, wouldn't you rather have that now, or...
Nikki, the
government...
Or you
just don't want to know.
Actually, that's kind of how I feel.
You don't
I'm
want to know how it's going to look like.
I already know. Like, I don't know. I need to do some work on my withholding. But, like, I always owe money. I never get money back. And I actually just do my own withholding. Like, I save a certain amount of money every month to make sure that I'm covered when my taxes pop back up. And I don't know if that makes me good or bad. Bad that my withholding's wrong, or good that I know that and I'm saving money. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, whatever. 10 of one. 10 of another.
However that saying goes.
That saying goes.
Okay, well, now you have till May 17th.
Man, you got till May 17th. You know what that means? Bah!
You're rich for days.
You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Until early in May, when we're like, wasn't there something we were supposed to do?
What was that thing that overnight was excited about? And it was like, it was homework, and they put it off.
Anybody remember? You should put a little reminder in your calendar.
And now it's May 17th, and it's May 16th at 9 o'clock at night. What's that? Isn't there something? There was something about May 17th that was supposed to be a big deal.
My favorite, too, is when people get mad. It's like the night before, and you're like, you had all this time. You knew you had an extra month, but sometimes it just gets away from us.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm using it. Back half of April, that's when I'll take care of my taxes. I'm good. No big deal. I'm not even kidding either. I'm thrilled about this news.
Don't ask him to do it any time before then. It's not going to happen.
Nope. That's one less project I have to think about now. I'll put it off until I have more things to do.
So if you were going to do your taxes this weekend, you don't need to if you don't want to.
And I'm not going to. So thanks, Nikki.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I've got great news.
What great? You're full of great news today.
Oh, my gosh, guys. Look. Blu-ray.com has just put up their review of the 10 Commandments in 4K.
Oh, all right. Well, you already bought 10 Commandments.
They have given it 5 stars for video quality, 4.5 stars for audio, which is fine because, let's be honest, it's like 400 years old. So, of course, the audio is not that great.
Am I off a year? Did you buy 10 Commandments last year, or did you pre-order it this year?
I pre-ordered it this year.
Oh, so you don't even have it yet?
No, it comes out March 30th.
Ooh, almost there.
I seriously cannot wait to get my hands on it. I cannot wait to watch it. Now, I always watch it alone because no one will watch it with me. Though, hey, in fairness, people
God will.
The Lord will be present.
He will sit with you and watch the 10 Commandments.
Me and Jesus in the basement talking about the fulfillment of the covenant. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes, no one else. And when the bow down before, like everyone, you'll love it. And you'll love it, and it's fine.
Bow down to his will.
This is my will.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
I'm straight up pumped. And I just want to say this, okay? Okay. Now, everybody's all up in my face about, like, it's old. Okay. Can't fix that, even though the transfer is practically brand new.
Oh, my gosh.
It's been sourced from a 6K original. They've put hundreds of hours into Dolby Vision color grading for this release. I can't wait to see it. It's practically new. But, okay, it's 232 minutes, which comes out to 3 hours and 52 minutes.
Does it have an intermission? I've only watched it like when I was younger on TV, so I wasn't sure if it had. Does it have a break in it?
Well, Nikki, then it's like you've never seen it at all.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it does. There's a break, and you choose whether you want to take that break or.
I mean, you can take a break no matter what.
I was going to tell you, over the course of 4 hours, I'm probably taking a break about every hour.
Sure. I wasn't sure if this is over a weekend. You got to pace this movie out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think the last time I watched it, I actually did. I watched the intermission, and I was like, I'll be back tomorrow.
Take a break. My gosh, what if one weekend you watch that and then the Zack Snyder Justice League?
That's what I was going to say.
Because that's supposed to be super long, too.
Everybody's in my face when I'm like, let's watch the 10 Commandments. They're like, you're dumb. It's long. And it's like, oh, but we've got 4 hours for Zack Snyder's director's cut, whatever. And let's be clear. I'm watching that, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that.
Basically, it's these movies where they were like, no, you don't need to add anything out. Just put it all in there.
Do we have any extras? Throw it in.
Throw it in. They'll want it longer.
So, hey.
Well, I'm excited you're going to get your Ten Commandments Blu-ray. Or no, 4K.
4K Blu-ray.
4K Blu-ray.
Ultra HD. It's going to be so sweet.
So simple things in life that
I'm excited. And
enough
you know what?
to get you excited about
I don't feel bad about being excited. People want me to feel bad about it. I don't.
Everybody's going to want to borrow that copy. So,
and I'll say no, but you can come over and watch it with me.
That's a trap. No, we're not going to.
Get down in the basement. Here's some lotion. It puts the lotion or its skin, or it doesn't watch 10 Commandments
At
again.
that point, he'll then open up a door and be like, it's this movie poster list. You're like, all right, now that you're here, it's not just 10 Commandments. We're watching them all.
I'm going to educate you.
He's had a list on each friend of what movies that he felt like you needed to watch.
Is that why you won't come over and watch the movie? Nikki's like,
Well, I know it's good. That's going to open up a whole lot of movies. And you're going to send some home with me, and I'm not going to.
Nikki, before we watch this, I need you to watch these 3 movies so that you're ready and you can understand where we're headed.
You know, like when you go home and your parents pack up like extra food for you, like you're packing up extra movies.
Here, take this.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Okay. I'm excited about the 10 Commandments, the movie, okay?
Well, let's again, if you weren't with us, he got the 4K
Blu-ray. I love
pre-ordered, so it's coming by the end of the month, and he was reading a review.
I'm so excited. But can I just tell you about a personal experience I've had? Maybe you have or haven't had this. So the 10 Commandments, I mean, it's about God. And, you know, all
you
this
have to
stuff.
say it that way.
Moses, all that. And I love it. I do. But man, I can remember times in my life where people would put such a guilt trip on me because, like, well, if you don't want to watch movies like the 10 Commandments, then you're a bad person. And can I just tell you that not everybody's going to be the same. Like, we're just not the same. And that's okay. Like, if you don't want to sit down and watch that or something
4-hour
else,
movie with you.
or, you know, maybe there's a certain kind of music you don't like, or maybe there's a certain way you don't like to dress or whatever. What I really want you to know is that there is room for you in a relationship with Jesus. You do not have to. Like, you might, so let's say you go to church one time and you walk in and you're like, man, I can't be like these people. That's okay. You don't have to dress a certain way. You don't have to act a certain way. You don't have to have a certain kind of personality. Jesus loves you. God made you the way you are. He loves you as you are. Now, look, I get it. You know, in my relationship with God, there are times where I'm like, well, God, I like stealing things, so I'll just keep doing it. God's like, well, no, okay. I love you as you are, but also we're not going to steal things. So, I mean, like, there's lines, there's ways where God's like, hey, maybe let's not do that. Or in reality, he just says, don't. Okay, that's a thing. But I'm telling you that you don't have to dress a certain way. You don't have to, you know, have a certain type of personality. You don't have to like a certain kind of movie. You can be you and still have a relationship with Jesus. In fact, the thing that I have found is that in my relationship with God, I have been able to be more myself as I understand how much God loves me than I ever was before. I'm a little less concerned about pleasing other people and a little more okay with just being the person that God made me to be. You are so loved. And I don't know what encounter you've had or what you've done that made you feel like because you didn't like this movie or like this band or wear this shirt or whatever, that there wasn't a place for you where God is. That's not true. So look, today, be you. All right. You don't have to be a jerk. But you can be you. All right. So, and God loves you. If you already know him, then great. Relax in it. Relax in how much you love. But if you don't, just say, Jesus, okay, I want to know what you're really like. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. And I want to know how to do life on your terms. And man, God will show you. Like I said, he loves you. He also doesn't love stealing. So, I mean, like, there's room for growth. But still.
Riot Podcast, Radio U.
Nikki, Barb just texted us at that number. She wants to know if we've watched The Last Blockbuster, which is now on Netflix.
No, but I set a reminder, which doesn't help me if I haven't gone into Netflix since the time that it's been released. So it should be in my queue. I wanted to watch it.
Okay, I'm going to add it. So, Barb, no, we haven't, but we want to. I will tell you what was funny is, was it yesterday or 2 days ago when they actually added it? Hulu added GameStop, which is a documentary about GameStop.
Yeah.
The company, whatever.
The stock stuff or before that?
No, not the stock stuff. This was just like where GameStop came from, the effect it's had on culture.
Oh, they had one of those.
Yeah, 6 episodes.
Oh.
That's like that's a lot.
If it feels like Hulu's like, well, oh, yeah?
No, it was the other way around.
Oh.
Because Hulu's like, GameStop now, blah, blah, blah. And I swear to you, within 3 tweets, it was like, Netflix, well, we have the last blockbuster.
But they've been planning that one for a long time. I mean, that's been on Netflix thing for a while.
I'm sure that's true, Nikki. Like, I'm sure it is. I am sure that it was just coincidental, that they didn't mean to be that way. But as I was watching it, it looked to me like Hulu and Netflix were like, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Here we go.
What we got?
I believe they do act like that sometimes. So
They probably do.
Yeah, the last blockbuster one, though, we've been interested in for a while because it was just supposed to be a documentary and then Netflix bought it. So it's been talked about for a while.
I didn't know Netflix bought it. I saw it pop up in iTunes, Apple Movies a couple of months ago, I think. But it was one of those things where it's like, look, yes, I want to watch the last blockbuster. No, I don't.
I don't want to buy
$20 want to watch.
I'd rather
the
just
last
wait.
Blockbuster. So I'm good on that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. But thank you for reminding us.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. So I got it open on my phone. Also new on Netflix today, The Lost Pirate Kingdom. No.
I'll have to look into that one.
I'm
Man,
good.
tomorrow.
I already know I'm good.
Tomorrow you have, the Justice League one. And then
No, that's
Friday.
today.
It's today?
Yeah, that's out today.
And then Friday you have the Winter Soldier one. So you have.
I totally forgot about that.
It's Friday.
What?
You got a lot of stuff now.
What? I really did forget that was hitting this week. Wow. That's 5 hours of entertainment right there.
So remember, you're like, but it's only it is Thursday. Get all your stuff done today. That way tomorrow, when you're done with your responsibilities, you can go right into all this stuff.
Man, nothing says I finally have time off to live my life the way I want to.
And
like
that's
sitting
when they
in
put
front of a
everything
TV.
out. You can't help it. It's not your fault. They decide when to put everything out.
Well, dude, that sounds fantastic. I'm excited. So we really do have a lot to watch this weekend.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Well, the good news is Nikki and I are back at Disneyland at the end of next month.
It is exciting because I know that was a lot of employees who have just been waiting, and it's been over a year since Disneyland closed in Anaheim.
Isn't that wild?
That's a long time, especially since Disney World has been open for a while.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it's limit. No, it's still pretty open. I mean, that's at least something.
I'll tell you what, that just whole other side issue, if you want to have something to argue about today, read up on the differences in like Florida and California and what they're saying. Because Florida had almost no restrictions during these lockdowns.
Yeah.
California had huge ones, and Florida's like, what? Look at us. We're good. Like, we're not the most infected state. In fact, we're like beefy middle here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're good. No, that was a whole thing yesterday of Florida's governor. But Nikki's right. They are back open April 30th. And that means, I believe
Which
it was
is sad because then that means you still have a while. But
yeah, I mean, it's
at least they've announced a date.
I believe it to be 10,000 people go back to work.
Furloughed employees.
Isn't that crazy? 10,000 people will go back to work.
Disneyland's big, and it's also, the other sections of the park as well. And I don't even know if the 10,000, was that their full load or only some are going back? I'm not sure.
I don't know the answer to that either. I do know that if you had tickets for the April 19th A Touch of Disney food event that was planned to take place inside of California Adventure, that's still happening. Gosh, doesn't that sound great?
A food adventure? Must be good.
I'll bet there is just spectacular things to eat there. I'll bet there is.
Well, we were getting this info from a food blog, and man, they're excited because Disney is a big summer thing, especially in that area. I didn't hear, though, they had been talking about only allowing Disneyland for California residents, but I haven't heard more about that because it'll be a limited capacity opening.
Yeah. So 25% is what they're saying they'll let in to Disney. But I don't know about that California residents only thing.
Because they had talked, they didn't want people traveling into California to go to Disneyland.
Right.
But I haven't heard anything more about it.
Well, I'll tell you this. The photo that they're showing me of the hot pretzel that is shaped like Mickey Mouse, that's enough to make me want to go.
That'll do.
I would love to be eating that hot pretzel right now.
And we got the stimulus deposit yesterday, so you can afford to go to Disney and have the pretzel too. You could actually go.
Boy, I don't know, Nikki. How long has it been since you bought a ticket to Disneyland?
You're right. It's been a bit.
Maybe I can find a way. Somebody's walking like, hey, here's $50. Like, meet me by that fence over there and hand through one of those hot pretzels.
Maybe you go at the very end and right before they close. You know how some places will like hand out the food that they don't end up selling or it gets cheaper?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be cheaper right before it closes.
Sure, you can get in. It's $500 to get in, and it's only $25 per item.
Here, have a free pretzel.
Wow. What a savings.
I'm just glad to hear all those workers will be able to go back, hopefully, the full amount. If not, it'll just start towards opening.
Yeah, April 30th.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So they are reopening Disneyland April 30th, but actually the restrictions on theme parks in California lifts on April 1st. And so there are a bunch of other theme parks that are, set to open, and they've got all of these things in place to hopefully make them not safer, as in maybe you'll fly off the ride. That's still a risk. But the hope is that while you may go flying through the air,
you have to say that you won't have COVID.
You won't get COVID. Now, the other stuff, we don't know.
Hopefully during all that time, they could just make it safer for both.
We hope all of the disinfectant that we sprayed all over the seats has not made them too slick to hold you in during the ride.
But the rest are opening too?
Yeah, they are. But one of the recommendations for these theme parks is that there not be any yelling, screaming, or sounds of enjoyment.
I've heard that at other places.
Well, that was a whole thing in Japan. Japan opened up a bunch of their parks, and it is like the weirdest thing to watch these videos of people in Japan. They're all masked up. They're riding these roller coasters, and it's silent.
It's so weirdly quiet, even though it's they're so polite there. They're not. I don't know like culture. How yelling, because normally you're supposed to be more quiet, like if you're in line or on a train or something. Here we're just all loud and
all the time. So even in line, but yeah, you're supposed to be quiet, so you're not like spitting all over everybody, even on the ride or just waiting. I feel like I came to a conclusion yesterday.
What?
If you're telling me that I can't yell on the roller coaster, I don't even want to go.
Do you yell on the roller coaster?
Absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't. I would be okay with it.
It's part, you know what, like one of the things about...
Or a muffled yell.
The thing about being on a roller coaster is, right or wrong, like I feel like that's a moment when you are abandoning your mind to your body.
Yeah.
So like you are there purely for physical sensations. And for me, that apparently involves yelling.
But it depends on the park. Like if I'm going to Disney, those aren't like...
Okay,
I'm not yelling because I'm so anxious because it's such a big ride. So I think I can control myself there compared to if you went to like a real roller coaster park.
That's fair, because I got to tell you, this is something they don't want you to hear, but it's the truth. Disney's rides kind of stink.
Well, it's just you're there for the whole bigger picture.
Right.
The whole thing. And they're not meant to be too intense for everybody.
I mean, they're fine. But they're not like, woo.
So California wants everyone to remember, if you're going to go to a amusement park as they open up starting on the 1st, that you need to remember to be quiet.
I feel like it is one step away from like, guys, you can go to the amusement park, but do not have any fun there. We are going to allow you to go, but fun is completely off limits because fun spreads disease.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
Can I just say, I think every person out there, drug company, essential oil peddler, whatever, it's all a lie. If you have allergies, you are screwed.
There's not much.
That's it.
There's not much they can guarantee will actually help you. I think everybody's so different.
Yeah, have some of this locally sourced honey that is in reality just, marmalade.
Oh, you just realize I'm getting national allergies. I'm not getting local.
You're not local, man. I need national honey.
I need more.
I will say about honey, if you look into it for your allergies, there's all this stuff that you have to do for it to be effective, including not letting it get hot. So like
really?
when you're adding honey to your tea, a lot of its antibiotic properties are going away.
Oh,
You're
I didn't know
boiling it
that.
out. Yeah, it's worth reading up on.
Basically, just take a spoonful of the honey. That's it. Wow.
Even putting it on toast, which is my preferred delivery method, in some cases can
warms
heat
it up enough
too much. So you don't want it to be hot.
And it's expensive, so you better know how to do it if that's what you need help with.
My friend Tom, he's a beekeeper, and I actually need to see him and get some more honey. But I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if it really does help my allergies, but my toast is amazing.
So it's worth a try.
So, I mean, there's that. But I just feel like when you're in the middle of a really strong allergic episode, people are like, take this, do that, drink water from the far side of the cup. And it's like, okay, look, just stop. All right, I can dab all the peppermint and silver oxide you want under my nose, and I am still
having it.
Going to be a mess.
Obie's allergies are especially troublesome the last couple of days.
So just stop with the nonsense, all right?
It definitely has caused you more drainage, too. And I don't know if maybe the working out and the moving around and stuff has just like loosened it or something, but it's definitely there.
Oh, we're getting loose, Nikki.
Just get it all out.
Yeah.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I don't know if you've done and or looked at the research of the impact that cows have on our environment, but some argue that the methane factories that the cows are running are one of the primary reasons climate change is such a problem. I don't know. Anytime you start talking about climate change, you notice how everybody just got angry?
Yeah. You just feel the tension? Do you feel that?
Everybody just got mad, and just because I mentioned the phrase.
Well, let's just take that knowledge and move it to the side and then start thinking, well, how can we work with those emissions and how can we maybe reduce those from cows?
Well, my first thought was, I was like, cows are methane factories? Like, are they running them underground? Like, I've never seen them.
No, it's just from them.
Cows are
the factory.
Methane factories. If you wink, wink, nudge, nudge, know what I mean. So some researchers say that they have figured out how to, help the cows and their tummies with digestion. Because, Nikki, they say gas is really undigested food.
Sure.
And so they took a group of cows and fed them for 3 weeks seaweed.
Isn't that great? Seaweed supplements for 21 days.
And you know what they found? 80% less emissions
than the other cows. I think that's great. And they say most importantly, it has no impact on the taste of them when it's their time to go away.
But here's what I want to know.
When that happens,
can we then have these steaks fed to a group of volunteers and track their emissions after they've eaten this kind of cow and that kind of cow?
Maybe if you have tummy problems, you just start eating seaweed. Like, is this a help for everybody? But they say it does not affect the quality or the flavor of the meat. And it does help the methane emissions.
And the cows are thrilled to know that. One of the cows' primary concern was how they would taste based on what they were eating.
They say that methane is the most potent greenhouse of the gases, trapping 25 times more heat than other things. And every time a cow burps or passes gas, a small amount of that goes into the atmosphere, and that's globally what they say is a problem.
Okay. Then can you just imagine the cows are like, I don't know what this stuff is they're feeding us, but
it's good.
I don't know. I've just been a lot more settled lately.
My tummy feels better.
And I didn't even know I was doing badly. And now I just...
But then by the time they feel better, they're like, where are we going? What are we doing?
What's over here?
Guys, why are we going over here? I like it over there.
I've been selected. They apparently are going to ask me about how it tastes.
I'm
very excited about this.
Going over there. They unfortunately want to test it by testing how they taste themselves. But yeah, that's a simple fix for helping with those problems.
All right. Well, just a heads up. If you guys have got a cow and you're concerned about its breeziness, just go ahead and get some seaweed.
So for the researchers, they said they've only tasted this on bulls, not cows. So they're not sure about the milk quality yet. That's the only issue with that. That's not been tested. But as far as meat goes and eating it, they say that they still find it tasty.
They got almond milk at Costco. We're fine.
You're good if it makes an issue. And I like seaweed, so I don't see it as being a problem. Maybe not in milk, but
well, Nikki, when you eat seaweed, how are your emissions?
I don't have any of that anyways.
I don't like where this went.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
So yesterday in several states around the U.S., there were vigils and or marches that were held. I see California, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., New York City, Washington State, after Robert Aaron Long was charged with killing 8 people on Tuesday. I don't know if you caught the news about it. He basically went to massage parlors, ended up killing 8 different people, and all of the people that he killed were Asian. And so these have been anti-Asian hate marches, or what they're calling Stop Asian Hate. Let me just have a little moment of honesty here among us. I was reading this and I was just like, man, we have the riot, where one of the things that I hope that you get from us, if you don't, let me be abundantly clear, is that we just love and accept everybody no matter what their skin color is, period. Like, we truly deep down believe that God made each and every one of us. Yes, we have slight differences among us, meaning like the color of our skin or maybe different genetic markers or something, but we're all human beings created in the image of God, and we all deserve to be treated fairly, to be loved regardless of any of those things. But reading about this, and then, of course, everything that happened over the last few years with Black Lives Matter and on and on and on, I just don't know what to do about it. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I would love to do something to make a difference in this space, and I don't know what it is. I know that for us, like for me, the difference that I want to make is what we just said, that we want to continue to remind people that they're loved no matter what. And that for darn sure, there is no standing where you can stand in front of God where he is love. And then you can be like, well, God, I'm so glad you love me, but not that guy. I mean, you don't get to do that. Because God's not about that. So I don't know what else there is to do. But I will tell you, and I'm just putting it out there because I just want you to know that Nikki and I care, and we care about, what's happening. But we just want you to know that no matter what the color of your skin is, no matter none of that stuff, it's not okay to hate. And as far as we're concerned, you're not hated, you're loved. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that hates you, but it ain't us. Okay. I want you to know
Not
that.
here.
I want you to know that. So please, you know what? No matter what is going on, and I can honestly tell you, as your Riot co-host, I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry it happened. I'm sorry that there are people that look at other people and look down on them because of their skin color. I'm sorry that sometimes that involves violence. And I just want everybody, every single one of us, regardless of the color of our skin, to know that we are loved. Period.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You guys don't know what I'm really doing right now. I was just checking my Twitters for updates on if anybody has an Xbox for sale.
Is this what we're doing now?
I wish I wouldn't do it.
Well, you said you wanted to get one thing from your stimulus deposit yesterday.
It's so stupid.
That's a large chunk of it, but...
Man, it's so stupid that I want one. It's so dumb.
Especially since you didn't really want one even a month or so ago. Like, you have the new PlayStation?
Here's the part, again, it's so dumb, is that I have some friends that have Xbox, and they're like, hey, we'll play on Xbox. I know we won't. We won't. I know that you say that.
But you still want to get in on it, though?
I know that I'll buy one and we'll be like, hey, we're going to play together. And you'll be like...
Well, don't you have any PlayStation friends?
No.
So then why are you the one? Why can't they go get PlayStations?
Well, first off, nobody can buy anything right now.
Oh, yeah, actually, that is true. Never mind. Good luck to anything.
Nobody's buying anything. Like, it's not happening. But, okay, the other thing that's probably bad is, like, I do have people sometimes that are like, hey, do you want to play? And, I never want to play. I want to play. This is why I'm bad at multiplayer. I want to play on my terms when I want to.
Like time-wise, you mean?
Yeah. And if I want to quit, I want to quit. And they're like, oh, you're in the middle of a match. If you quit now, you're going to lose your blah, 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 blah. And then your rank's going to go down. And then you're going to this. And I'm just like, you know what?
You don't care.
I just want to give you a heads up. I spend my whole freaking day working. And it's like, if you don't show up, there's consequences. I don't need my game life to be, there's consequences if I don't finish what I started. What is this, a carpentry project? Like, what are we doing? Like, if I want to quit, I'm quitting.
Do you feel the passion, everybody? So... do you want the new Xbox or not?
I hate everything. Get me out of here.
Are we supposed to help you find it?
I'm just telling you what's on my mind. And the fact that I'm still taking allergy medicine probably, like, it probably contributes to it.
Well, are you wanting to buy it while allergy season is happening? Because I just don't want you to be mad at yourself in a few weeks if this passes, that you bought one, or if you can even get one at all.
I don't know. You know what, Nikki? I wish I didn't want it.
Yeah. Well, it's all right to want things. It is. It is.
Okay.
It's nothing
okay,
bad
buddy.
about it. It is.
Right.
It's fine if you want something, and it's even fine if you buy it.
Okay.
All right.
See,
so
sometimes that's all I need. Permission to buy it is enough for me to be like, I'm not buying that.
Then you won't
even
want it. Exactly.
Don't tell me what to do. And I don't even have time to play. Why?
Well, Jason texted, wait 14 days for the Xbox and you'll feel better.
14 days?
Meaning, like, is that supposed to either his allergies will be better, so maybe he won't want it, or that'll get the bug out of you. Like, if you just wait, sometimes then they'll say you won't want it anymore.
Yeah. See, like Mike's like, I'll be your PlayStation friend. It's not. I don't take this the wrong way. Sure, like, you can send me a friend request. It's fine. It's just that I already know that when, like, people will ask me, like, hey, do you want to play right now? And I'm like, no. I don't.
Good luck finding a time. But
then
if you
when I want to play, I look around and everybody's like, no.
Aw, well, Chad says get the Xbox, and then you can add him.
Get on Xbox and add me. Yep, there's Chad's. You know what? I'll think about it. And by the way, again, it's not like... I think this is added to it, because I think if I could just go out and buy it, I'd be far less likely to buy it. But because it's like a game to get it, the game I'm actually playing is getting it, not the games I'm going to play on it.
Then when you actually
you understand
get
what
it,
I mean when I say that?
You'll feel like you already won.
Yeah.
And you're done.
So every time I see it, I'll be like, won that game.
Well, then that's why I always tell you get it at Costco so you can return it. But then you'll like it and you'll keep it.
Maybe. Hey, guys, thanks for being there.
Just to hear you.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
So the company, Play-Doh, they have just launched their new all mixed up tub.
So it's basically 3 pounds, right? 3 pounds of Play-Doh.
It's big.
It's a big tub of lots of different colors, not like way mixed up, but just gently placed throughout the bucket. So you just get everything all in one.
It's sold out.
Is it? It didn't seem like they'd probably make a whole lot of it. Or is it online, maybe buying it only?
Well, from what I can see right now, it's only available through Amazon, but they say that it will be available at other retailers very soon. So let me say it this way. You can't buy it at Amazon today, but you may be able to buy it at Walmart next week or something like that.
It is a big thing at Play-Doh. And let me tell you, too, the second you actually mix that thing up, it gets ugly.
What do you mean? Like,
meaning, like, it looks so nice.
It does.
But that's not really mixed up Play-Doh.
Yeah, mixed up Play-Doh really does take on a very specific color.
Have you ever played with it when you were younger? But it's a clever idea.
It is. It's nice. So, well, I guess at the end of the day, just the idea of a 3-pound tub of Play-Doh sounds great. You know what I would do? I just want to stick my nose in it.
You like the smell?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think Play-Doh is like one of the best smells ever. And I know that it's a little weird.
I'm sure not the only one.
But I mean, like, I could just, when I get Play-Doh out, it's like you play with it and get it warmed up. And then
All right. Well, did it show how much it costs, or did you say
$15?
That's not bad.
Well, I wonder how.
I would just use it to set it out as like a thing.
I think a little thing of Play-Doh is like $1. Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. Like just a container of Play-Doh.
No, I think that I always see it at like Halloween time for trick or treat.
Yeah,
and it's like $50 for.
Well, but like you're talking about
tiny
little ones.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like what I consider to be a
like
standard
one normal
size.
One?
Yeah.
No, I think those are cheaper.
Are they?
Yeah, probably.
I just know it's. Oh gosh, man! I didn't know we were going to plumb the depths of emotion this deep. But the last time I bought one, I just went over to Toys R Us and picked one up because I needed it for something.
You needed a fix?
Maybe. And now Toys R Us is gone and
it's all
Play-Doh's
gone.
all mixed up.
It all goes away.
Is there any room for me in this future?
Well, if you want the Play-Doh all mixed up, big thing. So it's almost 3 pounds of it. $15, and it's in stock on April 15th.
All right. Go get them. Ooh, look at that. Play-Doh slime, a 30-pack of that. Boy, there's quite a Play-Doh hole for us to fall down here, Nikki. We could use a little Play-Doh in this room.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Sometimes you just are like, you know what? It's all going to the same place, so whatever.
Just mix it all together. It doesn't matter.
You just mix it up and go crazy.
Well, I guess this is kind of like that. Have you tried any of Heinz's like mashups that they released last year?
I did not.
So they have Mayo Chup, which is like mayo and ketchup, Cranch, which is ketchup and ranch, Mayo Must, which is mayo and mustard, and Mayo Q, which is mayo and barbecue.
You know what? Here's the key thing is like I don't really like mayonnaise, even though I realize that like honey mustard comes from this same dark
world that's in.
You know, the cauldron. That's what I want. They come from the same cauldron. So.
Well, mayo I hate, but mayo and ketchup is actually not too bad.
Okay.
It's the only passable thing for me. But Heinz released their mashup flavors, and those have been out for a bit.
Right.
Now there's 3 new mashed up flavors, but they're not in the U.S. yet. But they
will be.
They're only in Canada, but they say that maybe it'll be released to the U.S. In the future. But it's Tarchup, which is tartar sauce and ketchup.
Ew, tartar sauce.
No good on that.
Oh, like man. No way. I hate fish, so like there's nothing about it.
Well, I mean, fish isn't in tartar sauce.
I know, but isn't that what everybody
it's synonymous.
dips?
Yeah, like you always think about it, but it could be better.
Is there anything you eat that you dip in tartar sauce that is not fish?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere there is. But wasabioli, which is wasabi and a garlic aioli. Is that 2 of the worst combinations for you?
I don't even know what that is.
They say that it might be good.
I know wasabi, but like a garlic
aioli, it's a sauce. They think it might be good on like a roast beef sandwich or something.
Okay.
No? All right. Well, it's 2 out of 3. Here's the third one. Actually, this sounds really good. Hanch, which is hot sauce and ranch together.
Yeah, that'll
do. We'll do that one. So that seems to be the one that most people are curious about, but that's hot sauce and ranch, and those 3 will be in Canada, but not here yet.
You know what's weird to me is that you would think like the Tarchup and Hanch seem to me to be like the most mainstream of the flavors, and the wasabioli not so much. I feel like that wasabioli is the one I'd be the most interested in trying versus the other 2. Even though you're right that the hot sauce and ranch, that's probably pretty good.
I think that's probably the best. So if you don't find these flavors, the whole mixing of condiments has become really a popular thing in the last couple of years. So all you need to do is you don't find the Heinz one, go to any grocery store and look for the off-brands. There's always a ton of types, more than just if Heinz version is not in your country yet.
I found myself, you want to talk about the ultimate mashup, you know, the Chick-fil-A sauce?
Yeah.
That stuff. And there are some places you can get it in the grocery store, and others they'll have like chicken sandwich sauce.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Or if not, you can buy the Chick-fil-A sauce at Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah, but I don't have time for that line.
You don't want to do that.
Even though it's probably the best managed line.
It's efficient. You're in that line and out of it so fast.
It's true. Everything you're saying is true.
Chad says ketchup and ranch is phenomenal. Buy it at the Dollar General all the time.
All right. Well, you know what? You enjoy that.
I'm trying to look. Let's see. Casey says fries dipped in McDonald's tartar sauce is good.
Okay. Do you know what I think is a really good mashup that nobody seems to believe me on? Ketchup and A1.
Oh, is that good?
If you mix ketchup and A1, you have
spice.
It's so good.
Sure.
And anytime I do that, people are like, "You're sick. You
make up your mind.
What's wrong with you?"
Well, I like this. Chris says he wishes Pepsi would get some mix-ups because he's been mixing Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew for years.
That doesn't sound very good to me.
I bet it could be good. You love Dr. Pepper and you love Mountain Dew.
I do, but
what if they?
You know what, Nikki? I'll tell you what. Maybe we should head over and find
it.
They
loved each other, and you had this whole new thing.
Don't judge them.
That could be good. We'll take his word for it.
The Riot. Not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
Taking your texts on this food mashups that has gone in directions I didn't expect.
People don't mind talking about sauces. It's fine.
Yeah, so Chris, he was our Dr. Pepper Mountain Dew guy. He got back to me with his ratio. He says straight 50-50 most of the time, sometimes 60-40 with a little more Mountain Dew. Depends on the fountain. It seems like they both taste different in different places. Skyline Chili on Miller Lane in Dayton has the best of both.
He knows. He's been practicing.
Hey. I can appreciate that.
I know.
Because I can tell you right now.
You have your favorites.
I do. I know where, if I want a soda, where I really want to go get that soda.
Well, we were talking about Heinz in Canada is doing taro chup, which is tartar sauce and ketchup. Hanch, which is hot sauce and ranch, which sounds so good. But we can just do that at home. And wasabi aioli, which is wasabi and garlic aioli as sauces. So, that led to the talk of what else do we mix?
Mm-hmm. So Jocelyn says, I don't have a sauce mashup, but I do mix Tang and lemonade together.
Is that good? Is Tang like an orange flavor?
Yeah.
Or what flavor does that have?
No, it's like an orange thing. It's what the astronauts drink.
Is that a thing too?
It was, yeah.
It was a thing? All right.
because it's like powdered.
Oh, it is?
You just add it to water.
You know what I found out the other time? Gatorade comes in powder form.
Yeah,
Didn't know
does.
that. We could be mixing it on our own.
Nikki's like, no, it comes from fruit. They just, they wring the fruit out.
It comes from the Gatorade tree. You can't fool me.
I know how it works. And James says, yes, so would I. Ketchup and A1 is the bomb. Thank you.
Someone else agrees.
Ketchup and A1 is so good. And I had somebody asking what my ratio is on that. You just have to feel it in the moment. Like, I don't have a set ratio. It's just, sometimes you're a little runnier. It's an A1 day. Sometimes you're a little thicker. It's a more ketchup day.
So do you remember a few years ago, was it A1 that had sauces that had like the ketchup, or was it spicy ketchup that we liked?
We tried the spicy
ketchup. That was
also good.
And that feels like, you take ketchup and yes, you're adding a bit of A1 or something, like a steak sauce.
I had an A1 bold.
Oh, stop it. We're here and we can't do anything about this.
They're not around anymore, but there was a burger joint where you went in and basically you got the burger and then you just put all your own toppings and stuff on it. And that was where I first encountered A1 bold. Oh, dude.
Was that Fuddruckers?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was.
I remember that from childhood.
So good.
Is that all gone, I assume?
I don't know. I mean, that was 100 years ago. Seriously, I barely remember it, but I remember that being where I found A1 Bold.
Yeah.
And I remember moving out on my own and going shopping and being like,
I can do that.
I'm getting some Bold.
I remember when I was younger, I would put Thousand Island dressing on the burger bar.
Yeah, but isn't Thousand Island, isn't that?
It's the Big Mac sauce, basically.
That's basically Big Mac sauce. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I didn't know when we were young you could do that on outside of McDonald's. I didn't know we could do that on our own.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really hungry now.
Sorry.
It all sounds so good, doesn't it?
Here, I got a couple more text messages for you. Andy says, I like to dip fries in sweet and sour sauce from Burger King.
Or just any sweet and sour sauce, but that's good.
Listen, McDonald's has the best sweet and sour. Done. You get the McNuggets and they want to charge you for extra sauces.
No.
It's worth paying.
Depends on what you order. You can get more than one, but you should always get extra if you can for free and just save it for other food items.
Wyatt says you do realize barbecue sauce is just ketchup with brown sugar.
Well, of course.
I mean, there's other stuff too.
Why do you think we like ketchup? It's so salty and sugary.
Jason wants to know, asks anybody dip for their French fries in a chocolate frosty?
I know know some people that do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
I think my grandmother used to do that, or she liked that, but I don't too much.
Oh, this is rich. Justin in Oklahoma, he and his wife each have their own bottles of Chick-fil-A sauce, and they had to label them so that they...
They sent a picture of it. It really has their names on it. Whatever works to keep the peace. Boy, some of the people, you really love Chick-fil-A sauce a lot.
I know. I get that. Where you're just like, you eat all the Chick-fil-A. You're the one that eats it all.
Now you have your own. You don't have to fight about it.
I got my own bottle, and then that's it.
That's great. You guys crack us up.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So, okay. Nikki and I were talking about this off air, and I think she made a really good point. We should also talk about this on air. Talking about the Atlanta area shootings that happened at 3 different massage parlors or spas or whatever that particular one happened to be called in that area. And a lot of people are saying they're racially motivated. The police actually came out and said they're not. I don't know. I certainly stand behind people talking about the importance of anti-Asian violence, meaning that we don't want it to happen. So, yeah, I'm with that. But there is another possibility that is also worth exploring. Like, racism could be it, but we were talking about off air how they were saying, look, this guy's a sex addict, and he kind of lost it and saw these as places where he would go and kind of have that addiction fulfilled. And so he started shooting them up, wanting to eliminate the temptation and all of that. And in the middle of it, you know what Nikki just said, there's an anti-porn message here, and a lot of people aren't getting it. And I think it's true. Like, porn is super destructive. And, it's not something that people like to hear. And I get that, because let's just to be honest, like, porn seems really great. It's something I'm interested in. You're like, Obadiah, don't say that. What? Can't be honest? Can't tell you the truth? Like,
I think it's very hard for our generation because it's so sensationalized and okayed in some areas and encouraged, and you make money from it, and it becomes normalized. And then you go on the other hand, you're like, but wait a minute, here's where suddenly you find, no, but this is too much. But it's all in the same world with it, and people, I think, just get very confused by it.
The sad thing about it is, like, it's reductionary on both sides. There are people that go into porn and they're like, hey, I really want to do this. I choose to do this and whatever. And the people that they take money from, there's an old saying that basically says, when you visit a prostitute, you're no more than a piece of bread. And so you've been reduced to just being nothing but bread to someone. And then the other side of it is, you who are going and using that sex worker, what are you doing? You are making them nothing more than a means to an end. There is a dehumanizing thing there. And Nikki's right. We've just reached a point in our culture where for us to even say to you, porn's a bad idea, many people are just like, why? Like, what's the big deal? Like, why do you even care? But this is kind of like the farthest down, like the end of the slippery slope, like how bad it can get. But man, look at all of the different things that we see happening. How many people in authority do you see that have made terrible choices when it came to how they've treated, men and women? Like, it's not just a gender kind of crime. And a lot of that finds its roots all the way back into starting with just the fantasy that's provided by porn. And it's bad news. It just is. And so I would tell you, get out of it or don't go into it.
Well, we say that for a lot of areas of things. Yeah. It wouldn't become a problem if you don't start into it. And sometimes for some who say, it's not an issue, you don't realize, though, you might be the one who could have a problem with it until you get too far in.
And just to be abundantly clear, like, porn is something I've spent time looking at. It's something I have enjoyed in the past, and it had an effect on me that was not good. Like, the effect that it had on me was not good. And so I can just tell you from my own personal experience that it is not something that is worth your time. And I get it. Again, it's totally normalized to even speak up and say something about it. People are like, what's your problem? I'm telling you, it's no good. And it, like, at any point when you are just using somebody else for sexual pleasure outside of being married, wow, I totally all the way in. you know what? It's no good.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
Woodhaven PD. They're on the lookout, Nikki, because something has happened. Something that brought joy to children everywhere.
What happened?
Has been nabbed at the local McDonald's.
Oh, no.
Someone stole Ronald.
Oh, the statue's outside? If your McDonald's still has the statue outside, I don't think it's been updated then.
It's kind of amazing, actually, because they show a picture of the statue, and I'm like, woo! Wow.
Scary. It's almost like McDonald's should not charge you if you take it. They should pay you for removal.
Well, I don't think they
like
share the sentiment, even though I get what you're saying.
They're not supposed to, like, go touch it or something. You're not supposed to, be around it.
Nikki, let's not demonize this wonderful childhood icon of commercialism in America. Go to McDonald's. We love you.
Well, is this because they have different ones. Like the one near where I used to live had a big giant statue and then park benches around this? Or is this the statue that's sitting on the park bench?
This is your photo opportunity waiting to happen.
I see.
It's Ronald on the bench, legs crossed, arm around you, and then you snuggle into his arm and take that Insta photo that tells everyone that McDonald's loves them.
Yuck.
And is there for you.
So someone last weekend, between Friday and Saturday, Friday midnight to 1 a.m., they said that the statue was stolen behind the local McDonald's restaurant.
You know what I see here? A lot of people are upset about it, but this is somebody that needed a friend. And that Ronald had been there for them for a long time. And they were finally like, Ronald, I'm going to set you free.
I think they took the bench, too. They say the bench he sat on was cut and Ronald was taken.
If you look at the photos, you can see that I believe in order to remove Ronald, they had to take part of the bench out.
As part of him with it.
They
need to do better than this. It's only a $1,500 reward. We all got our stimulus checks at $1,400. We got that already. They need to offer more.
Oh, that's what McDonald's did. They put their stimulus check and they put it up there. They're like, just bring Ronald back.
You can have my stimulus check plus an extra $100 if you just safely return him.
Please bring Ronald back.
Do you think this is in Canada or where is this?
I don't think it's in.
Oh, is it Michigan?
It's in Woodhaven.
Well, unfortunately, sometimes with news services, there's a lot of Woodhavens, I guess.
That's not my problem.
We're not telling you exactly where it is.
It is in Michigan.
Okay, there we go.
So somewhere in Michigan, $1,500 could be yours if you can find Ronald.
So tell on your friend who went and took it has it in their room.
Heck yeah.
I'm thinking maybe the house and then return it.
All right, think about it like this, okay? Your friend stole Ronald, and you're like, how could you rat him out? No, he betrayed Ronald, and you're betraying him. And why did he betray Ronald? Money. Why are you betraying him? Money. See, you guys are great friends for each other because you both have the same motivation.
Well, I want to negotiate, though. I'd like $1,500 and maybe a free year of food. You know, that once a week you can go have so much money. I want all that.
I want every day.
You want every day?
I want every day. I can get a 10-piece McNugget, a large fry, and a drink.
And I want no questions asked. So you just turn it in. Just turn back in the thing.
Okay. So you're like...
That way you're not really hurting your friend. Or you, if you were the one who stole it.
I feel like if they did a no questions asked, the guy who stole it would just bring it in and get his $1,500.
Perfect. But the statue would be back. And isn't that what they really want?
I guess.
It's a gross. Just let it go. Just get something else.
And for those of you that are like, why are you assuming it's a guy? Because this is something my stupid friends would do. And none of my stupid friends that would do this are girls. I just want to be clear about that.
Oh, my God.
Just be abundantly clear.
Oh, I feel it's the same friend who would remember you said one would number 2 in the elevator. I feel like it's right around that same area.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, or eat all the butter at lunch.
Those actually were the same person.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
And as you may or may not be aware, Nikki and I are long-term, long-haul COVIDers. No, long-term, long-haul Nessie fans.
Oh, you see how it sounds the same, right? But it's different.
So close.
Are we Loch Ness Monster fans?
No, we're not. We're not. And I think mostly because I solved the mystery and I can't get anybody to listen because I already know how to fix it.
Well, yeah, he always says if you just would have drained the lake, then you would be able to figure out. But, there'd be a lot more you'd find there. And I just don't think they're wanting to do that.
All right. I thought about that, too. You're like, oh, I drained the lake and then think about all the fish that are going to die. What's big in the UK?
Fish and chips.
So what do you do?
Sale?
You have a community fish fry.
See, you know what I was thinking? You could just put them in some big, bucket to the side.
Okay, or that.
And you just drain certain sections of it and just kind of, somehow figure that out.
The other thing I would love is somebody just make a really cool submarine and just
go around.
It's not that hard.
But until then, there'll always be mysterious sightings of the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, our latest sighting, they're saying, it's definitely it. You see these two little humps show up in the water. They're waves, for crying out loud.
They say the footage shows the shapes around 10 feet apart in the freshwater loch.
It's so ridiculous. And it's like our Bigfoot stuff where it's like, why is this camera 300,000 feet away?
And now cameras are so nice. Even if it was just your phone, the quality would be way better.
So much better than this. And they're like, no. This is brand new. It's awesome. And it's real.
Never seen footage before. So they said this was captured by a Loch Ness webcam, and it was on the 12th.
Well, it's time to mix it up, guys. Get a little something more Loch Nessy about something.
For the Loch Ness Monster sighting register since 2017, they've had officially 12 sightings recorded.
Wow!
Whoa. But I don't know if there's more registers or something or what? Because I guess I would have thought there would have been more sightings.
I'm just telling you again, all that we need to do is let's just get serious about it. Same thing with Bigfoot, all right? Burn down the forest. If Bigfoot comes out, we got him.
There you go. You found out.
Perfect.
Now, I will say with the footage that Obi was talking about, you could just zoom in a bit or perhaps pick a cliff that's closer to the actual body of water. Yeah. This feels a pretty good distance away.
Why? If you guys are serious about taking footage, why is it located 3 towns over?
It feels like it is.
That's where you got your 640 webcam all set up. Come on.
I've seen a couple of animal cameras, where you're watching, here's the bears and here's this and here's that. And from the zoo. And you can do way better than this.
Come on.
But it feels like they just want to make you think they're sightings, but not really actually show you.
I want the Nessie 2, TOO. And it's a little submarine, and we're just going to explore that lake. We're going to figure this thing out.
We'll find out.
Oh, you know what's the other thing we could do? What if we just highly electrified the lake and all the dead stuff would float to the top?
Well, why do we have to kill everything? Can't we just keep it and maybe just try your submarine or a boat approach or something? Or just probably say, no, it's not likely there's something there.
How bad do we want to know?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't really want to know.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
I've never rage pooped.